Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Report, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's take a look at some stocks and indexes on the move this week. What a week it has been. For that, we're joined with Bloomberg News equities reporter and deputy team leader for U.S. equities, Carmen Reinecke. Carmen, what stood out? It was a whirlwind of a week, a lot of volatility, some social media posts, some press conferences. What stands out?
Totally. I mean, I'm always looking at the chip stocks. So AMD, Advanced Micro Devices, top on my list. It had a big jump on Wednesday, up 9%. That closed at a record high. It was after earlier in the week. So on Tuesday, it landed a major deal from Oracle, which was really read as a sign that the company's making headway in sort of pursuing Nvidia's lead in the market for AI processors. So basically, Oracle is going to deploy AMD chips in some of its data centers. But AMD also, this stock has had an incredible run just over the last, 4 weeks. It's ended in the green. Obviously, earlier in the month, they had this pact with OpenAI that also really lifted shares. So just one that we've really been watching in the whole AI theme.
I mean, as you said, up more than 8% this week. AMD, of course, is the ticker. And then up the prior week, up 30%. I mean, it's just been on a tear. I love to look at the semis overall. I mean, they gained as a group like 6% for the week overall. There's just been so much momentum there.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, what else is on your radar?
Yeah, so the other big one on,
Could it be
on the
regional
list.
banks?
Yes, exactly. We got a little bit of like 2023 deja vu, which was horrifying. So shares of Zion, which is ticker ZION, and Western Alliance, ticker WAL, they both fell Thursday after they said they were victims of fraud on loans to fund that invest specifically in distressed commercial mortgages. So today, most of these stocks rebounded. The sector was looking a lot more stable. There were a couple of earnings reports from other companies that sort of abated fears of credit stress sort of spreading across the group.
Right.
But this was, really high profile, especially after we've seen these stories from bankruptcy of Tricolor and then First Brands. So definitely a lot of fears. I mean, Jamie Dimon made the cockroaches statement earlier this week.
Can't say it enough this week.
Yeah, there's just a lot of eyes on this group, and nobody wants to have another SVB.
So,
I was going to say it stands opposite, though, of the semi stocks down 4 weeks in a row, both companies. So that's selling pressure for a little while.
Absolutely. I was looking at Zion's down about 5% for the week overall, ticker ZION, and then Western Alliance, ticker WAL, down about 3.25% for the week overall. So yeah, despite the bounce back today, still down for the week overall. Should we go to gold?
Gold miners?
Yeah, so gold has been, on an absolute tear this year. I was talking to a source earlier that said if you want a defensive sector, it's gold stocks. Investors look to them as a safe haven. They are seen as, something if you're trying to avoid volatility. But today fell off a little bit. So the NYSE Arca Gold Miners Index, which is ticker GDM, was down 6% today. It's the biggest drop since May. Bullion fell more than 2%. And sort of within that group, Newmont, ticker NEM, was down more than 7%. Agnico Eagle Mines, AEM, was down 6%. And Barrick Mining Corp, ticker B, also retreated a little bit more than 6%. This index is up still, though, more than 130% for the year. So, this is obviously still a really bullish story. But we're just seeing, I guess, people sort of trying to lock in some profits and, say, all right, we've had a great run. Maybe we'll get some money then.
The interesting thing to me was Bill Gross coming in, though, and calling gold a meme or a momentum asset. So
I didn't hear that.
Poking the bubble, poking the retail crowd.
Is he just jealous?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I mean, listen, gold was such a hated trade for such a long time, going back a few years. It is pretty wild to see the outperformance. And I do think about, this pushback on U.S. exceptionalism or pushback on the dollar. And I think it's been a lot of central banks around the world, right, that have been buying up gold too.
And it was interesting. Jamie Dimon came out saying it could go to like $5,000 or $10,000 an ounce from current environments. So
selling my gold necklaces.
Yeah, the gold
melting them
bugs are
down.
really happy.
Melting them down.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.